I knew the mom was gonna die. I knew the mom was gonna bite it because as soon as she said, "I don't need luck. I have you. You're my good luck charm," I was like, "Oh, the mom's dead."
I was like, "She's done. She's a goner."
I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
That was like the kiss of death.
That whole conversation was just like, "Yes, this mom. We're not seeing her again."
Like, this is the end of the mom. Rest in peace.
Yeah, goodbye, Mom.
We knew you well, kind of. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Del.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
Alright, so today we watched
Save the Last Dance. Yeah. So as always, the IMDb. A white Midwestern girl moves to Chicago where her boyfriend is a black teen from the South Side with a rough semi-criminal past. So this was an interesting one. And our first Kerry Washington movie.
Oh, yeah. No,
I love Kerry Washington. Was this the first movie I didn't
hearing the review, you know?
Yeah, reading the IMDb is always wild to me because it's like it just boils it down to like the bare bones of what the movie was about.
One sentence, and it's like, okay.
I mean, I guess that's what we did. Okay. So, as always, we're starting with likes. I'll go first this time. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I had was I really liked how they interwove the mom dying with Sarah's Juilliard dance. I just thought that was really good with her dancing, and then like she falls when her mom dies. Like, I just thought it was done really well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like the other scenes they intermix with dance too. Like at the end, that kind of like
that one too.
Like 3 scene of like her going to her dance audition. Then you had the Malachi like doing the shootout, I guess, and then what's the main? What is Derek?
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, Derek like running to get to the dance. So I like how they had like how they use that dance to kind of be that that kind of underlying thing to like show her kind of like mental state or like the things going on in her life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or just like them using it to like have those parallel kind of things.
Yeah.
But I guess kind of also similar to her mom. I like the scenes of her like opening up and like kind of breaking down about her mom.
Yeah, I like
Derek
those too.
And her dad. I think both those scenes were just like a lot of like real emotion, and I also really did like both those relationships. The one between Sarah and Derek, and Sarah and her dad as well. Like, I like that kind of growth. And then I think I almost cried during that scene toward the end where she was like, "Yeah, I wanted my mom there, but I just want someone who loves me there." And
I love
you. That was a beautiful scene.
That was cute. I like that. The only thing that got me about that was I was like, can you actually show up at people's auditions to things? Like for school? Can you really be there?
Yeah.
And I tried to look it up.
You're in the lobby, but I don't know, you're not in there.
Yeah, I know. I tried to look it up online, but it just told me how to myself audition for Juilliard, and I was like, that's not why I'm here. I just need to know if I audition, can I bring my mom with me or like my dad? Can they like be in the room? Because it almost seems like a no, but also kind of yes. Like that was confusing to me. But we're not on this like.
Definitely not running on stage. Your boyfriend's definitely not running on stage.
So unprofessional.
It's not happening.
The looks on their faces when he did was wild.
Yeah.
The next scene I had was I really liked the club scene where Derek asked Sarah to dance and she can't dance. She can't dance hip-hop or whatever they're calling it. I loved it because she looked so ridiculous. And he was like trying to coach her through it like a baby. He was like, and here's the beat, come on. And we're doing one, da, da, da. That just made me laugh.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. I also did like the relationship between Sarah and Chenille.
Yeah.
Or I guess I like Chenille's character overall. Like,
I love Chenille.
I like kind of like the like force she was in Sarah's life, like kind of like welcoming her to the school, introducing her to people, kind of thing. But also like giving her a realness when she needed to hear it. Yeah. You know, so
her introduction was great when she just stole her backpack and was like, "That's why you don't keep shit on the floor."
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Yes, Chenille.
I loved her character.
I really liked the rivalry between Nikki and Sarah, just because to me there's something so funny about a rivalry that's very one-sided.
Yeah.
Like, Mickey very much didn't like Sarah, and Sarah was just kind of like, why does this bitch have a problem with me? Like, I just got here. Like, what problem could I have caused already?
Yeah.
But, like, there's just something so amusing to me about a relationship like that, like a rivalry like that, that's just so one-sided, so obviously. Like, sure, they had their one big fight, but, like, other than that, it was very much Nikki actively hating Sarah, and Sarah being like, I'm just
like,
dance
here.
and just work at the school.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at the school, I just want to not dance and continue on.
Yeah. And they had some, like, fun little scenes together, too. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed, like, the fight scene, and even the dance scene, I enjoyed that, too. I thought the dance scene was resolved a little too quickly, but that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess the next thing I liked how it, like, kind of, like, started a discussion on, like, interracial dating, I guess, or at least didn't just, like, play it off as a joke or, like, you know, use it for something. Like, they actually did kind of voice both sides of the argument, and I don't know, just make like good points for, I guess, both sides, honestly. So
yeah, that's what I said. I said more or less I just like that this movie went deeper than you kind of thought it would. It almost seemed like not a joke that it was like a white girl dating a black guy, because that wasn't what it was. It was just kind of like it just showed the both sides where Sarah's like, why can't it just be like two people who like each other? And Chanel's like, well, you need to, like, also know that there's this history of black women and black men and white women and what that does to black women. And also, I like how she kind of put it in the context of you need to not be here just to be here, because it seemed as though she was almost just saying, oh, this hip-hop thing will be like a great thing for my Juilliard application. But, like, not going deeper into, like, the lives and, like, the things that actually affect the people that she's around. So I really like that Chanel brought that up, and this movie definitely went deeper than I thought it was going to. I thought it was the silly dance movie.
Yeah, I think the other thing Chanel said that was related to that was she said something along the lines of, like, in our world, people look at it differently, and Sarah was like, it's the same world. And she's like, yeah, your people think so, but we know it's not true. Like, that was one of those lines where I was like, yeah, that's a bar. That's a good line there, you know?
Yeah. This movie had some of those. And it was very unexpected, but very welcome. So I think that's the last thing I have.
The last thing I had was just, like, I did enjoy, like, the dancing and music overall. And, that was pretty much the last thing I had.
All right. So now on to the negatives. I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay, I think it passed. All right. So what were your negatives? You can start us off.
Yeah, I honestly didn't have too many. Like, I feel like all my negatives were kind of, like, nitpicky. One, like, I didn't know why Derek was teaching her to dance. Like, in terms of, like, actual choreography and stuff, like, that didn't make sense to me, but it was cute, I guess. So, like, it was cool, but like, that was like what qualifies you to, like, be, like, learning actual routines. And then they, like, pulled it out in the club, and it was like an actual dance routine. I was like, okay, so, like, you were just learning this dance routine to pull out at the club, I guess. So
yeah, I like that. I thought that was interesting because I was like, wouldn't the people who pull out a full-on dance routine at a club like that be seen as, like, losers?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but
because I'm not going to pretend I'm someone who goes to the club very often, but I'm like, I just know for me, if I, like, show up at a club and all of a sudden people are, like, pulling out a choreographed routine on, like, a regular club, this isn't, like, anything special, but then they're just, like, clearing the way and pulling out a dance routine, I'll be like, who are these losers? Like, what is going on right now? Like, we're not in a TV show or a movie. Like, what are you doing?
And, like, I've probably been to, like, slightly more clubs, and, like, I don't know, like, like, frats will do it with, like, their, like, dances or, like, line stepping, whatever it is, but, like, I don't know, there's, like, a certain crowd of people that get annoyed by that, like, them, like, kind of clearing out a space to, like, it's like, no, like, we're all here to have fun, like, don't crowd this space, don't, like, why are you bringing your routine here, like, this is not what this is for, you know, but
yeah, that was more of my thoughts on it. I was like, I thought it was cute, and I guess she can understand the steps when it's, like, choreographed for her, for a specific song or whatever. But then I was like, you guys really are those losers at the club who are, like...
It was less that, but I'm like, it seemed like Derek was just a guy who dances at the club. Like, how does he know how to choreograph?
Yeah, too.
Like, how did he choreograph his dance?
Especially since his whole thing is he wants to be a vet.
Yeah, I'm like, he's supposed to be this, like, doctor, like, kid in the classroom. When did he learn time to, like, choreograph dances and stuff, you know? But
now he's a choreographer on top of all this? Yeah. The thing that I note is that sometimes the dialogue was very clunky and cringy.
Yeah, I did notice that too, actually.
There was some real expositional dialogue scenes where someone would say something, yeah, brother, and da-da-da-da, and what are you doing about Georgetown, and da-da-da, and I'm like, what is happening? I was like, that's not how people talk unless you're like talking for a camera to give an outside person information. Because all these things you're saying, you should already know.
And, like, honestly, there were even a couple of times where I felt like there was, like, weird eye contact with the camera too, and then, like, some of the moments too. I'm like, y'all can't be doing this, like, with the like clunky dialogue, just like shoveling expedition down our throats. Plus, you looking directly into the camera, like, I don't know.
They all but were just like looking straight into my soul at times.
Okay, I think the last thing I had, I thought the ending was slightly too like movie magic-y.
Yeah, I get that.
Just with the whole, especially with the whole like him running on stage kind of thing, then the friend getting shot in like the back of the car blowing up that he was supposed to be in. I was like, okay. I see. Yeah, we get it. He made the right decision. We get it. They're good. I don't know. It was just a little too like cheesy for me, but that's a very minor thing for me.
Yeah. Oh, then I have way more cons than you.
Oh man.
So one of them I have was Sarah was kind of stiff the whole time. Like, not just when she was learning to dance hip hop. There were definitely times where I was like, come on, Sarah girl, I need you to like emote a little bit more. And I don't know if that was the actress's choice because her character's mom had just died. Yeah. Like, I don't know, but to me it seemed like she was kind of stiff. Okay,
actually adding to that, there seemed like in the beginning she seemed like very stiff and quiet, but then there was like random moments where she just like had sass. And like it seemed to come out of the blue and like go away quickly as well, you know?
Yeah, it was she was the weakest character, which I don't know what order I'm putting these out, but if we've learned anything from like Above the Rim, the weakest characters can't carry the movie. Like you can't have that. That's not not great. Another thing I had was the movie was like 45% montage. There were so many montages in this. It kind of rivaled. It was either Drumline or The Stepping One.
Oh, still.
One of those movies had too many montages. But this was up there with those two movies, like with the amount of montages we had. And to me, that just showed that the plot wasn't that strong. Because, again, Sarah wasn't like a convincing enough actress to really figure out what her whole deal was. Like, I kind of almost, like, I feel so the Chicago audition for Juilliard kind of came up in a throwaway comment that I was like, oh, you are dancing again?
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did.
Cool, whatever. So that was just... The montages really just showed to me how weak the plot was, basically. The movie did say some good things, as we said before, but the plot overall was kind of on the weaker side. And that being said, the gang nonsense that Derek's friend was doing, I feel so that could have been cut. Only because, to me, it didn't fit anything solidly. Just because it took me a while to kind of understand what Derek and his friend had beef over, how his friend was in jail but didn't rat Derek out, and I didn't quite understand what he was in jail for. Maybe it was drugs. I honestly don't remember.
Oh, they like robbed some store or something and got caught.
Oh, okay. So okay, cool. So I was definitely wrong. So it just seemed to like, almost to me, it came out of the blue that was his tragic backstory when he seemed like such a well put together person. I guess that means that this could be anybody, but it just seemed as though the character that we were shown when he first was introduced in the classroom, like speaking on the book In Cold Blood, if I'm not mistaken, is the one they were reading.
I don't remember, but
I just remember it was a book that I had definitely pretended to read in high school. So I was like, I vaguely remember that, so I'm thinking it was In Cold Blood. I just remember hearing him say his thing and being like, oh, cool, we're not having a gang member guy. Like, this is okay. And then he was in a gang randomly, and I was like, what? And then just that whole thing was a mess. I will say I would have been fine with him still having, like, the clash with his friend. I just didn't need the whole backstory of, like, they used to rob people together or whatever that was.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. Also, I feel as though it could have been cut because again, the movie is almost 2 hours long, and for not a lot of plot, they definitely could have strengthened some other plots and just ditched this.
Yeah. I actually did have I didn't appreciate the ex-girlfriend drama as much. I thought that could have been cut. It gave for some fun
I was fine
scenes,
with it only because it was so high school.
Yeah, no, this was a very high school movie. It reminded me a lot of high school. But that and then...
So that's why I was fine with it, because I'm like, this is such a high school thing to care so much about your ex-boyfriend, what he's doing.
Then the other one, the baby daddy drama, or it wasn't even drama.
Oh, that could
have very much been cut. Like, she can still have the kid.
Also could have been cut because Christopher's father, Kenny, he definitely looks like... When she first said, that's Christopher's father, I was like, oh, Christopher, you're a student in your class?
He looked mid-30s. I was like, damn.
He looks so old. I was like... And then I thought, oh, are we doing something like Feisty where she's like secretly dating a teacher?
No.
But no, it was her baby daddy. And I was like, oh, God, why is he 100?
Yeah, like, they all look old. Like, I understand we get actors in their, like, 20s, whatever, to play high schoolers. But, like, we were pushing it a little too far sometimes, you know?
That one was pushing it way too far. And I'll always admit, because I feel as though in like the 80s, 90s, people looked older then. Plus, we definitely had we definitely were picking like actors in their like mid to late 20s playing teenagers still. And now it's definitely gotten to a little bit more of a realistic place. And also people seem to look smaller to me. But like this one was like way.
None of them looked in high school at all.
If he was in a classroom in a high school, the teacher would have made him leave because it's illegal to be in a full-grown adult in high school. Like he
literally has kids.
He's in his 40s. He's like paying taxes. I was like, what is he doing here?
Yeah.
He was so old. That's why immediately when she was like, Christopher's father, I was like, what student is Christopher? Point me Christopher too. And then it was like, oh, your son. I was like, oh, your son.
Yeah.
Oh, who is this gentleman? So, ratings.
I guess you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I gave this movie a 2 out of 5. It just wasn't that impressive plot-wise. It kind of, it just wasn't a strong plot, and Sarah the actress who played her did not anchor her story well enough for me. And it was somehow bogged down, even though the plot wasn't strong, it was somehow bogged down by subplots that also weren't strong. So it was kind of weird. It was this weird thing where it was like a not strong plot, like somehow being pulled down by something that's equally not strong. It was very odd to me. So, yeah. So that's why it was a 2 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit. I gave it a 3.5. Like, I will honestly agree that the plot was kind of weak, but I don't know, to me it was just kind of relatable. You know, like, it just reminded me a lot of, like, high school, and, like, it was a very high school movie, too. Like, I don't know, pretty much all the drama points were very high school, like, worrying about, like, getting into school kind of thing, worrying about, like, auditions. So, like, all that felt relatable to me, so I guess, like, there really wasn't a lot of, like, tension or any, like, super high stakes in the plot or, like, anything to, like, really get super invested in, but, like, I don't know, I thought, like, I did appreciate those, like, little moments of her breaking down with her mom that I think definitely like helped a lot for me.
Yeah.
But like I think it was really just like the relatable aspect that like I guess stuck with me. You know, just kind of like I don't know, just like imagining myself going through high school, kind of like dealing with similar issues, things like that. So I don't know, it was just a fun time for me. And I will say I did kind of tune out during the montages, so they didn't like slow down the movie as bad. Like I was like kind of like scrolling on my phone during parts of this, and like the montages helped that because like I'd be like scrolling, it's like, oh, it's still dancing, okay, cool, or like I'm still doing this thing, you know. But I actually did enjoy this one.
Okay, so last question: do you wish you saw this sooner?
This one's a no. It was like I did enjoy it, but I didn't need to see it sooner. Comfortable seeing it now.
Yeah.
It's like I think this was a good time to see it, honestly. Like I wouldn't have wanted to see it in high school, so I guess any time after is probably fine. But today was good.
I went the opposite way, and I know you guys are probably like, Danielle, you gave this movie a 2 out of 5, but don't make that think. Don't take that to mean that I didn't like this movie, because I did enjoy it. Like the dancing, it was the right amount of cheesy. It was still cringy, all that good stuff. But this is the exact movie I would have loved to watch in high school, so I could get that extra nostalgia factor. Like this is on the same kind of like Bring It On for me. Any of the Bring It On sequels. The Bring It On first movie is like perfect movie, but like the sequels are obviously less quality. But like this is on the same level as that, or like a not Legally Blonde, because Legally Blonde is also good, but like that kind of movie, like the early 2000s, like that cheesy teen rom-com movie that was like my bread and butter. I could have totally seen this movie earlier and been so happy. Plus I would have had the added nostalgia of like being impressed by all of her dancing that wasn't that impressive. Yeah. Because some of the dance scenes, you're like, oh God. Like, looking at it now, like, having seen much more impressive dance numbers in, like, musical theater things that I like to watch, and, like, even stuff that I've seen from, like, step-up movies, and even some of the movies we've seen here that has, like, dancing. Like, I've seen impressive dancing, and when I was younger, this would have been so impressive to me. Yeah. But now that I'm older, I'm like, this looks so crappy. Like, she's the dance girl? Oh, my God. Yeah. But, like, this is something that teen me would have ate up, so I could have that extra nostalgia when you go back watching it and getting that, like, fuzzy feeling. You're like, oh, I remember watching this with my friends at, like, a sleepover. I could totally see that. So I totally wish I saw this sooner.
Nice. Definitely like the flip, of,
I know!
Like the whole day,
So weird. It's so weird. I know! That's so odd. Because you guys may not know this, but, because I think I cut it out of the last one. But we each pick a separate movie. This was my movie pick, and I definitely rated it lower than I rated his movie pick. Yep. That was we just watched it, The Pursuit of Happiness.
And then the same happened to the flip. I didn't like the movie I picked, but I liked your movie, and we both like shat on the movie, but wish we saw it sooner, and then didn't wish we saw sooner the one we actually liked. Like like the craziest we get.
I know. Plus, my earrings keep falling off. This is going to be a chaotic episode, everybody.
Beans barking in the background of some of this. All right, let's get out of here, though.
But that was
Save the Last Dance.
Save the Last Dance.
YouTube house.
My lighting's looking. Oh my God.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions for us, you can leave them in the comments down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays. All of our socials will be linked in the description box down below. And we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye. I did find it wild how many times people were like, oh, snap. Yeah. And I'm like, what she just did was not
They were gassing some regular stuff. Regular stuff was going on.
I know.
Like, it was a fun time, but, like, the dancing was okay. The music was good. I thought the music was really good. Like, I really like the soundtrack in this one. But
yeah, I said the soundtrack is the strongest character in this movie.
Honestly, though, like I'm telling you, like, those scenes where she was crying, like, the music was going in. I was like, yes. Like, even that last scene with the shootout with the ballet music in the background, I was like, yes, go movie.